Welcome to the True Kings podcast. I'm Divine.
I'm Zai.
And today we have some special guests.
For real.
Introduce yourself. We'll start with you.
Me.
Yeah.
My name's Ariel from the Bronx.
I'm Shitty Nicole. I'm from the north side, baby. What you meant?
No one knows where the north side is.
It's
There's
alright.
no
They
side.
don't gotta know.
They don't gotta know.
Okay.
Specifics. Oh, you don't want to know the specific?
I hear that.
Y'all really wanna know where I'm from? I'm from Rhode Island.
Okay.
North side.
The hidden gem.
Check.
I like that. The hidden gem.
Okay. If you don't know now, you know, baby.
And you?
I'm Casey from Boca, Florida.
Okay.
Boca Chica.
You remember? And
On.
I'm from the north in Game of Thrones.
Okay. What's your nationality?
Right.
Jamaican.
Jamaican. Okay. You're the baby?
Okay, so we gonna get, real exquisite right now.
Get to the point.
Okay, so I'm Cape Verdean.
Uh-huh.
I'm Senegalese. I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay. She's mixed.
Mix.
Okay.
So I'm Puerto Rican. Mix. It's a mixed breed. So
Yeah, mixed breed.
yeah.
So today's topic is going to be about your dating experiences, right? So we start with you, Ariel. How was your dating experience back home from where you're from, like in the BX or New York?
Okay. So to be honest, I left the Bronx when I was 5.
Okay.
So I was raised in Miami. I left when I was 16. I didn't have any real relationships while I was here. I was in Texas. I lived in San Antonio for 10 more years. That's where I started having relationships.
Okay. And how was it there?
I mean, it was just, I think in Texas, the idea in San Antonio, Texas, it's much different than Miami, in that Miami is what do you want to make out of your life? What do you want to have? Your drems, your ambitions, following that. In Texas, San Antonio, especially the spaces that I was in, just felt what are you doing for people? Are you building a family? Are you doing something? And it just was very much a lot of people were going into college, finding a person to get married to, having a family, becoming a teacher, becoming some profession, and just having a family and stuff. And then I left so I had a relationship when I was in Texas for 5 years. And then I left to Miami.
What type of guy was he? Where is he from?
He was from San Antonio.
Okay. His background?
His parents were mixed, so his dad was African American, his mom was white. They got married, and then they went to San Antonio, I think, after moving a few places because they were in the Air Force.
Was he around your age?
He was. We were literally the same age, and we went to went to the same high school. We didn't start talking until we went into the same college, which is 30 minutes away from us. And then we started dating, and then
were you guys intending to get married? Was this?
I was, and I think he was too, but I think it was just because Texas was just the general environment is that you're dating someone to get married.
Okay.
Whereas Miami is very normal to
just
date
dating.
for fun.
Yeah,
It's just date because you enjoy that person's company.
Y'all feel as soon as y'all come here, it's like that.
I felt it as immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Immediately. And I was with somebody when I moved here.
But
And I still felt that way.
What makes you feel that though? You know what I'm saying?
Because how men act. Men
God.
act different. No, I'm just letting you know. Men act differently. The men in Texas, when we went on a date, they followed up. They made
followed
sure.
through.
They checked on your
Yeah.
days. They checked how your days were going. They followed up on things. If you said you had an issue, they would come back to that issue. They would help you.
Alright, so-
They would make you feel whatever it was. They were a normal person with you there.
Okay.
It wasn't they just suddenly you weren't with them and they suddenly disappeared into the abyss.
It's the
In
women
Miami,
too out here.
It's like that. In Miami, you're not with them in physical space. They may or may not show you that interest, and there's nothing you can do about that. Which honestly is human behavior. So you can't even get mad at it. But it's just different. It tells you the difference between somebody in Texas who is wanting those things and someone who doesn't want those things.
All right, so let me ask you a question. So do you feel there's a difference between the caliber of guy you would talk to here or back there? Do you feel So like obviously you know how like people be like how there's like better looking girls in Miami than there is like in other states.
I was about to say in terms of how they,
like
in terms of how they present, like I would say in terms of how they treat you, yes.
Yes. I would
But
agree with that.
that's I think that's the thing that women
What do you mean? How
struggle
they
with
treat
the
you?
most.
How they treat you here?
I
How they
know
treat you in
how they
Miami.
treat you in places like San Antonio, Texas, where it's like you're supposed to do those things.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's
we
the
mean
dichotomy.
the
That's the thing that we
phenotype.
struggle with.
We mean like the phenotype, like the type of guy. So is it the same type of guy you would talk to in San Antonio, or is it a different type of guy?
Not. No, it's
I feel like your
completely
environment
different.
changes.
It definitely
Yeah,
changes.
of course.
Like
Yeah.
if you are in an environment that is closed off, you're not going to be as open to like being yourself. You're in an environment that is super open about anything.
Right.
You're going to be all the parts of yourself that you felt afraid of. So like,
But what I was trying to say is that the type of guy you would date in San Antonio.
They don't want to answer that one.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Does it change?
Yes. Is that the same type of guy or
No.
here in Miami?
That's a great question.
That's the question
That's
we're
a great
asking.
question.
So like
No.
basically what I'm saying is like
Yeah.
would you talk if you talk to a guy in Texas, right? Chances are the guy you talk to in Miami is gonna either have money or have like a fitness body. You get what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be.
I see what you're saying, but no. The answer is no.
Or be
But
like,
the answer is no.
or
Like
be
the
some-
same would be
yeah.
my type has been the same. What
Okay.
I'm looking
I
for is the
agree.
same.
The
Has
same.
only. I think I was just talking to Casey about this
Yeah.
2 days ago. I was like, if anything, my type has only like added on things. It hasn't like changed to where I'm like, oh, I don't want that person anymore. It's just added on to saying like, I want somebody who's ambitious and thinks about the future, but also is sensitive and also is open to communicating. Like it just adds on things. It hasn't ever changed to being like, oh, fuck that, I'm okay. I want something else. Now that I'm in Miami, this is what I want.
Okay.
If anything, that was like a big thing for me moving to Miami, feeling so confident in moving to Miami because I knew Texas was going to be very much about settling and compromising and just making a home and doing these things. And I didn't feel comfortable with that.
at
I
your
knew
age,
that wasn't for me. At my age,
which was
25?
at 25, you didn't want to settle down.
That's still so
I
young,
was
though.
comfortable.
Like, who wants to settle down
I
at
was.
25?
This is my
There-
thing.
there be
I was
some
actually
girls.
at 25. I
There be
moved to
some.
Miami, and I was with a different person. But before then, I was actually ready to get married. But
But-
they didn't show me that they were
Okay,
willing
so
to
you
show
were
up
willing
that
to get
way.
married, but because he didn't commit.
Yes, but I think that also continues to why I had to like find somebody. I had to like add on the thing of like they are ambitious and care about you being ambitious.
Sincere,
I had to add that on
genuine,
in that
like-
relationship.
Do y'all feel like when you talk to older guys, they're more ready for that type
No.
of stuff?
No,
No.
no,
Not at all.
Older guys are not
Not-
ready.
no.
Okay.
That's not
Some
a
of them,
thing.
some of them are on the same.
feel like
Some of
nobody
them have the
really-
same mentality as
It's
a.
the person.
I don't
It's
feel
really-
Yeah.
like it's definitely the person. I don't feel like anyone's ready based on your age
Yeah, for sure.
because I mean I've dated someone who's like 6 years older than me and I don't feel like they were ready at all.
No. Yeah, same.
But are you ready? That's the question. Like,
I mean,
if he was to
I-
pop the question to
so-
you and say, "Yeah, right now,"
Well, if they were to pop the question like right now, like no, I mean
all right.
I'm
and
not
why?
ready.
And why?
Why are you not ready though? That's
Why?
the real
Because
question.
Yeah.
I just got out of a long-term relationship and I just feel like I need to do more work on myself. I need to spend more time with myself. I really need to just like be with myself more before I like jump into something with somebody else. Like I just like want to like know myself more. That's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
goal key.
The worst thing is jumping
Right.
into something
Yeah.
when you're still like healing in like the
Still
in bigger
healing.
places, and then you find yourself projecting a lot of your trauma onto the other person because you're not
Exactly.
ready. So it's like you definitely got to give it time.
Okay.
What's the time limit then?
I mean, I don't think there's a time limit, but I just feel like when it's ready, it will happen naturally. And I feel like I got out of a 5-year relationship a year ago. And
Go keep going. Sorry.
I've like talked to a couple guys in between, and the reason why I felt like I wasn't ready is just because I just feel like I just have like so much more work to do. I don't feel like there's a time limit, even though it's been a year. But I feel like it's something that you feel within you. I feel like if you're working towards that, like in between that time when you meet somebody, you just like no, like I'm not ready. Like this is like I know I need to work on this and that. Like if you're that type of person who is just like
you don't want to jump into something off the bat.
Okay, yeah, I can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, Sheree? How was your experience in Rhode Island dating? Sum it up.
Sum it up. Let's see. I think it was all like very similar. Like all my experiences with my dating certain guys. I don't think any of them were very serious, but presented themselves like they were serious for something, which was the problem.
You find that as a common factor, girls? Like a lot of men are like,
Yes.
they're acting like they're serious, but they're not.
Let me ask you a question though. Is that the quickest way that guys have gotten you by saying that?
Yeah,
Yes,
but
it's not
it's
saying a thing.
it's not
It's
saying
not saying a
anything.
thing.
Yeah.
It's doing.
Yeah.
It's the things that they're doing. So they're
Like,
just
acting like,
displaying themselves in a certain
Yes.
way,
But,
but not really
also-
being honest.
But also saying like, oh
It's
my God, I
also
want to be
saying.
with you, but
It's
Yes.
also you right
saying,
now,
but
like.
it's
Or are they saying this before they have sex with you or after?
Before and after.
before and after.
Yeah.
Generally,
Yeah.
before
But
and
you feel
after.
like it just like the spark kind of just they don't follow up with it after like maybe a month or like 2 or something like that. That's what you're saying.
Okay, I feel like
It could be longer sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard to like.
I'm like they could
All the
they could
time.
display themselves in such a way for months, and you're just like, okay, yeah, I like this person, and then eventually they start showing these other like,
my experience is that like a lot of men are very like avoidant with their emotions, so they're
Yeah.
very good with being like, this is someone I like. They're very good at identifying people and things that they care about, and then showing up to like make sure those things are continued in their life, like as a priority. Like they'll be the best person for like people that they care about personally close to them in relationships or work relationships or whatever it is. But eventually it's a mask, like anything. You can't keep it up. You can't,
Yeah.
you cannot,
Yeah, you
you
can't
cannot
keep
keep
it
it up.
up.
And then when it
Yeah.
falls,
Yes.
because it's natural for the mask to fall, they may or may not deal with that in healthy or unhealthy ways. Because we all do that when we're dating, no? Like, we start dating someone, we have a perception of ourselves that we're giving them. We don't want to tell them all the nitty-gritty details. We're also trying to be healthy and, like, give, like, good, healthy boundaries to what we're relaying to them. But after a while, that shit's gonna fall. It's gonna crack, and they're gonna see that either way.
yeah, especially if it's not being authentic to yourself. A lot of them feel like or pretend that they are a certain way at first, and then you just watch it. You just watch it crumble.
That person.
You might want to,
do
yeah.
that. I think one of the biggest things I've realized between men and women is like I'll talk to women, and they'll be like, oh well, he doesn't know what he wants. He's confused. He wanted to show up this way, and now he doesn't. And then I'll talk to a man, and he's like, yeah, I did want to show up that way, but now I don't because I learned this thing about this woman.
Okay.
And I don't like this thing.
But like that's the
You
thing.
know?
And they don't show up that way
communicate.
right away.
I
Though
was
you don't
about to
have
say
to.
that. But that's what I'm saying is like for the men, like they don't give time for the women to show them who they really are. So
Yeah.
they're so consumed
just like,
with
yeah.
being like making sure they can get this woman on their side that they just want to show up as what she needs. But it doesn't even necessarily mean that they actually want that woman. And then now she's
too.
invested in somebody who doesn't even actually want her because obviously he didn't give time for her to show her who she was.
Yeah.
And now that he sees who she is, he's like, I'm off it.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
doesn't want to explain it to her. So he ghosts her.
So,
And then she has to be left picking up the pieces, being like, oh, obviously I did something that he's not interested in anymore.
Exactly. It's my fault, right?
But he did too much at the get. Like, he didn't give time.
saying that though,
Men don't like to
saying
explain
that, though,
themselves.
Saying that though, so anything in life, when you meet someone or when you do something, it takes time. So wouldn't it be wiser from a woman's perspective to not give him sex and wait
Both.
until
Both.
both?
I
You're
agree on
able
both
to-
because, for example, like I went on a date, right? And I'm like, oh, like I might really like this guy. Like if I really like him, I don't really want to have sex with him.
Yeah.
Right? 9 times out of 10, that's not how the man
That's
is
not-
actually doing
But I'll be
Yeah.
honest with
If
you.
he likes you, he wants to try it out.
I'll be honest with
and
you.
if you like him, you're into it. So you're gonna like, it's already like a false setup. It's already like
I
a
agree.
setup
I'll be honest
with you, though.
for failure.
That whole thing is kind of tricky though, because as a guy, if I go on a date with you and I feel like we have a mutual
Chemistry
attraction
and everything,
and you don't want to have
you-
sex with me, I kind of just
You're
You're
I think-
worried about it.
Yeah, you're like,
think-
oh,
You're
they don't.
worried,
they're
and
not
maybe
into
I
me.
actually,
Yeah.
and maybe I actually felt chemistry with you, but
No.
I'm worried, and I'm letting my insecurities
No,
get to
I
me.
start thinking that you don't fuck with me.
Right.
as much.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and but it could all be insecurities.
But
it could be
it
my
could-
insecurities from
It's
past
it's definitely
relationships.
perception in
It
the
could be.
mind.
But the
It's-
difference,
it
but the
always is.
difference is, what I would say is, I would rather, if a girl doesn't want to have sex with me in that moment, she doesn't want to have sex with me. Fine, I'm trying. You know, men are gonna try, right?
Men are
It's
always
how
gonna try.
it's how she moves from there. So it's how
Yes.
she responds
Yes.
that
That's
same
a
night,
fact.
Yeah.
that same night, and then the next day.
So how would you
like-
like her to move? Like, what is your ideal like?
She
So
has,
if she doesn't want
she
to
has
do
to,
it-
she has to make me know that like, okay,
She likes me.
she likes
Yeah,
me, and
correct.
she's willing to work this through, and she wants to make me. Because you know the thing about it is, like, for instance, we all know, like, as a guy, because we've been with girls, like, if you've been with enough girls, you know that you've been with girls and you fucked them like the first time that you had, like, you
So is that like?
You get what I'm saying?
Is that like a turn off to like fuck a girl on a first date? Like,
No, I mean it depends.
It depends
could
on
be
the
a
guy.
turn
This is why it's weird, because some guys, it's the honest truth, bro. Some guys, they fuck a girl the first day, they're not taking that girl serious.
Yeah.
And they be like, well, I'm gonna go fuck them other 10 girls
Yeah.
in the lineup.
So like,
It
what is
depends.
I know
it?
But
so-
it's like,
I'll give you a scenario.
So
I'll give
what
you a
is
scenario.
the dependence on? Like,
I'll give you a
so-
scenario. If I have sex with a girl on the first date,
Yeah.
and she's like obsessed with me after that, like I'm talking about like wants to talk to me every single
Single
day,
day.
after that, then I'm gonna feel like,
you're
oh
the
damn,
worst
like I
flag.
rock. No, I'm gonna feel like I rocked her world. Like it wasn't.
Oh.
It wasn't.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
That's-
But if I have sex with her on the first date,
And you
then-
never
and then
really-
it's like normal kind of like, oh hey, like you know what I'm saying, like takes days to like.
It's the thing is, it's a
I'm
girl.
gonna
But-
think like, oh, she's done this with mad guys.
Well, you want to know? You want to know what's? You want to know what's the?
That's
Okay,
me.
but-
I don't know about everybody.
But do you want to?
Kyle, though.
So the thing is, it's a gray line because it depends on the type of guy, right? It
Okay.
depends on
Also depends on the type of girl.
Yes.
Yeah, the type of girl.
Cause some girl will overthink it after and be like, "Oh my god, like I slept with him,"
Yeah, I know.
and then they're like finicky with you, and they're like, "Oh my god, I don't know how he feels," and then they're kind of like they pull back a little. Yes, but they still like you, and that's the weird.
They might really like you, and you're
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, like
Because
she's
you know
not
what,
getting back to me.
girls are so used to men reaching out to them, pursuing
Yes.
all the time.
Okay, but that's because what
Pursuing,
society
yeah.
tells us.
That
Yeah.
they should do.
Society
yeah.
But-
tells us all the time.
but
If
a
y'all
guy-
wanted
a
to
guy-
do something, you would do it.
A guy that like, for instance, like a guy that actually like has his shit together and like knows what he's doing in his life, is attractive guy, stuff like that. He's not gonna like want to chase you because he has other girls that might
That are chasing
You
him.
know what I'm saying? Like the only guys that really chase girls.
But like, if you
only guys that
like
really
a
chase
girl,
girls.
if you're into this girl, you're not gonna chase her.
Because
No.
that's what society tells us.
Girls love to be.
Society always
Not
tells
me.
us.
Maybe some other
It-
guy.
it- it-
but
it-
not
Girls
me.
love to be
depends
chased.
It depends because it's a gray line. So like,
I don't think
If I-
this is what I'm thinking is like from my observations, I feel like this is a big disconnect right now. That like women, we grew up in a society that's like always men are saying like, oh, if I want to be there, I'll be there. If I want to do that, I'll do it. If I want to show up, I'll show up. But
Right,
I
it's
don't
like, if
think
he
that
wanted to,
that's
he would. That's
actually
like, that's our,
how-
like-
That's what
But then
society's
chasing-
always telling
chasing
us.
is-
But I don't actually think that that's how men
No,
now
chasing
are
Men is
operating.
subjective
Men-
though because a
Men
guy,
now are operating as like, I'm gonna show you how I feel, tell you how I feel, you show up or not. But like now, because there is this like other part of women being like, I'm a strong woman, I'm gonna show
I
up
don't
how I want
need
to show
to,
up, I don't need
yeah.
a man, blah 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 blah. Now there is like this like unspoken like elephant in the room where they're
Why would
like,
you not-
I'm gonna tell you
but
how I
think about it, why
feel,
would you not
but it's up
chase
to you.
as a woman? Why would you not show high interest in a guy?
Yeah.
Because when you
Because
show
then you're
high
chasing
interest,
something
like,
that
yeah.
may not
but
be.
who? All right, so this goes back to like, I don't want to say like who's the prize, right?
Do you think it's the ego?
No. It's not. I'm not even gonna say who's the prize. All right, but think about it. Out of all the guys that approach you guys, right? How much guys would you even talk to?
Not
1%.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Maybe
1%.
less.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that tell you that like the guy that you do like is very rare?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the rarer commodity should be sought after.
But they don't think that. But they don't think that.
Guys that are rare, they do think that.
But like, if you like a girl, you're not gonna chase her. You're just gonna let her just like.
You gotta understand, a man with a lot of men.
You gotta meet me halfway.
With a lot of men, they have so much shit going on, right? They working, all that stuff.
see that.
They also have other women that they have on their roster.
Okay.
So
no, it's
so
not. Okay.
so listen. If a man has, for example, if a man has girls, it's just like when a guy meets you, right? It's not all the time that you're gonna be single, or you might have guys you're talking to. It's like four guys, 3 guys, depending on the type of girl. You're like doing this whole rotation thing. Same thing with a guy. So if you don't show interest with a guy and say, yo, listen, I like you. I want us to go somewhere else. I want to, meet up with you again. The guy's gonna be like, okay. If not, he's gonna be like, she's just another girl.
So
because
is that what you guys want? You guys want a woman
you cannot
to
say
be like
I cannot generalize to something. Some guys just want to be fuckboys. So this is why you gotta understand what type of.
So for example,
that's why chasing is subjective, because if a guy does chase you, if he's a high value and he does chase you, chances are he's probably chasing you and feeding you like, what is it? What's it? Feeling you like lullabies or whatever the fuck that phrase is.
Lullabies.
Like good nothings. You get what I'm saying? Because he's trying to fuck.
Sweet nothings.
Sweet nothing. Because he's trying to fuck.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you out a game. Most men, we're horny. We're horny.
Every man, yeah.
Every man is horny.
man.
And the girls always come like, oh, guys always trying to have sex. Listen, we have testosterone.
it's
God
not
gave.
just the guys.
We do too,
But
bro. We
listen,
do
but
too.
listen,
That's
Yo,
but we're hunting.
How you feel when you're horny? That's how how like sometimes you're not horny. Like maybe right now you're not horny, right? A guy feels like that all the time.
Yes, like we're
All the time.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, men get
Men are
horniness
all the
yeah.
time.
So you gotta understand when a man automatically meets you, he's
I need the science.
I need the science.
I need
right?
the science.
I'm like, I need to know that.
listen. When a man automatically meets you first, he likes how you look. You fit what he likes. He's thinking about you sexually. First off, now he's listening to what you're saying. Now when you communicate, this is why you have to communicate. You can't be like, okay, yeah. Have some communication. If you have some communication, then he's like, oh, she's sexy.
She has
I wanna
something to
fuck
talk
her,
about.
But I also I like her mind. So
That's like everything. That's what you're saying.
every
Guys.
guy you ever meet in your entire life is always thinking about sex first.
Yeah.
Because that's how God made us. We have testosterone and we're thinking like that. This is the honest truth.
Oh wow.
Now,
And I ask them, what do y'all think about first?
I don't think about sex.
but let me finish.
Okay.
I think about.
Listen,
About how you make me feel.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Feels
Let me
like-
finish. So when we meet you, we're thinking about sex, and then now when we hear your mind, or when we see we kind of fit in like what type of, if we're looking for something long term, we can say, damn, I could bring her home to my mom based on your conversation.
So what type of girl can you bring home to your mom? Like,
So
what is that?
let me give you an
like?
example. First time I ever realized that what a real girl was when
A real girl.
no, cause like just same way that is like not. Bro, let's be honest. There's a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
trash girls out here, and a lot of trash guys.
In
out here,
Miami,
too.
okay.
No, in general.
In the world,
General.
in general.
You cannot have good without bad. There's gonna be bad apples.
Do you want to say trash? Do you want to say
I
damage?
don't
let's
want
not
to
say
say trash.
trash.
Damage.
I
Let's
don't
say-
like.
I
I don't
said
like
trash girls and trash guys.
No, but let's say
Okay.
let's
I don't
say
like
Damage.
Damage.
let's say people who are for the streets.
No,
It's
Not
as
even
simple
just
as
for the
that.
streets. Not even for the streets. But let me explain.
Okay.
So my friend, he used to say that he used to go to school hungry, right? He used to go to like college hungry. He's studying to become a doctor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But his girl would like secretly like pack like granola bars in his bag, like shit like that. Like when you do that, what?
Yeah,
No,
because
of
you're.
course, I know
like,
that's like
A
something.
guy's
You're
not
paying
gonna
attention.
not fuck with you.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna think every time he's thinking about like fucking you over, he's gonna think the time that you did that. Like,
Are
Will
they
he
really
though?
though?
Will
Are they
he
really
though?
Listen.
Yeah.
Will he though? Is the
Yeah.
question.
for the
Or
most part,
will he think? Or will he think? Oh my goodness, my girl did this for me because I'm such a good guy. I treat her so good. I'm such a good guy to have. Any woman would be lucky to have me.
Egoic man.
Ego.
But
Would
go-
it feed his ego? Because that is, and this
Like
is
she
a-
should be
not
doing this to me.
You know why?
She should be
this is
doing
the
this.
general
It depends on the
experience
guy.
of women, but this is the
Definitely.
It depends on the
Definitely
guy.
depends on the
Wait.
guy.
Yeah.
But this is a tried and true story of women with men. where they support the men. They do everything to support the men. And then the second the man doesn't need them, they move on to the next thing. You know why? Because that was not what they wanted or needed from that relationship. Like you gravitate toward the relationships that feed you what you need.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know if I should say this.
Say it.
Say it.
So we do it. That's what we do it.
The reason why men leave is because men crave variety.
Yeah.
No, we know that, but that's problematic.
If you were perfect to the guy, like in every single way, he would never leave you.
Yeah.
Because if you were like, we could bring another girl in the bedroom, like I don't care, like stuff like that. Like
I don't know that it's variety.
Exactly.
I do think that men
I'm telling you, they're
allowing a man's desire.
Like why do you think men watch porn? Married men.
Different. Yeah. No. I mean, I see that.
They love their wife, but they want to see this girl on screen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. Like that's the thing.
Okay
like
with me. Yeah,
like you wanting me, but then having all these different interests and like going on porn sites and like pursuing them. That's okay. That's not the issue. The issue is feeling that your ego is attached to it in some way. Because then the bigger issue is you don't know yourself.
But like,
because if you knew yourself, you wouldn't need all these different things.
So
you know exactly
Ariel,
what you needed.
everything that you're saying is very true. But this is you as a woman. This is where self-awareness needs to come in. It's very important as a woman to develop self-awareness. Unfortunately, when you're young, a lot of women don't have that.
Right.
Because of
a
society.
Lot of people don't have
people
that.
in general don't have that.
In general.
People
So
don't have that.
when you gotta see if you talking to a guy, right, good looking, whatever, and this is another thing, you guys gotta get over looks. A lot of women's, oh my gosh.
Oh my God,
I think it's more than
love.
I think it's, I think it's guys and girls.
Let me tell you, I'm not saying it.
Why
I'm
is
not
it
saying you
just
to get an
women?
ugly guy. I'm just saying.
do you know how many women?
I'm saying, listen, let me finish. I'm
because
saying.
You see how your girlfriend likes. That was all looks when you saw her.
Listen. From a woman's perspective, when you see a guy, you're like, oh my gosh, I like how he looks, right? You need to listen to what he's saying. The same ego.
But I do. But we do.
Hold up.
We do.
Hold up.
Don't say
Hold up.
Sorry, now I'm yelling.
Hold up. The same ego-ness that you're talking about. The same ego-ness that you're talking about. You need to listen to what he's saying, because if he shows you ego from the day one, and you still give him pussy, and you still dealing with him, that is on you.
I agree. I am also saying that I am saying that, like, I think a lot of people don't recognize these things, right? Like, the woman is trying to ignore it because she's trying to have this idyllic life, and like,
we all do it,
man, and things like that.
We all.
You know who has the
but they don't realize that.
You know who has the biggest egos in life? Beautiful women and successful men.
No, I don't think so. I don't think beautiful women have. I mean, I think I'm a beautiful woman, but I don't feel like I have a big ego.
But I think that you were a different person. I think that
you don't have a big ego. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a
unique.
question. Let me ask you a question. If a guy walked on the street, right, and you was with 4 fat friends, and he four guys walk on the street. You're with 4 fat friends. All 4 of these guys are handsome men. They talk to all 4 of the other girls except for you. How are you gonna feel?
I want to
Why is that the setup?
Friends up. Like,
why is that the setup?
That
Is my question. Why is that the setup?
Hold on.
Because
why is that the setup?
saying she
That's
has
my
ego.
question.
He's asking based on ego.
I might
No.
feel a certain type of way, but like
Everybody has an
I'm
ego.
with my girls.
She said she don't have a big ego.
Put it out.
I got a big ego.
I want my girls to eat. Like
She knows who she is. There's
Yeah.
a difference between knowing that you're a good-looking person, knowing how the general society outside of you looks at you, and having a big ego, which is like taking it to another level.
Like, oh, they didn't
Two
talk to me.
different
Yeah.
So you guys
That's
feel like you guys feel like successful men have the biggest egos. That's what you're saying.
That
Wait,
we what?
Like successful
They're not just
guys.
talking about successful women.
I feel like a lot of men.
Men in general.
Men in
have
general.
big
I think
egos.
I think the whole thing. I think the whole thing.
The
is
biggest
that,
ego.
That if we do these
To have
things,
the ego, you have to be successful in
No,
something.
you don't.
No, you don't.
no.
you don't.
That's your delusion.
No, you don't.
Hell no. Yo, listen, there are men who got nothing, and they be like, I'm this big.
No, I took it. I hear what he's saying. Like, ego is not what you have. Ego is not external validation. Ego is believing in your identity and yourself. So you could have nothing and have the biggest ego.
Yes.
And I would say that, like, those men are, like, the biggest ones that, like, are ready to do anything with the fuck
They
want.
do.
They don't give a fuck about shit.
A guy might not be successful, but he might have certain characteristics that a girl likes. Like, he's hood, or he's known in his hood, right? You get what I'm saying? So he's not successful, he's broke, but he's known in his hood. So, for instance, he's gonna have a big ego because he can fuck as many girls as he wants.
Okay, but the people in his hood are gonna be like, yeah. But a person just meeting him from the outside is gonna be like, who the fuck are you?
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't realize that. That guy doesn't realize that. That guy doesn't even give a fuck.
Because that same guy's gonna be like, well, I am.
He needs to be to the people he needs to be that shit to.
He's always that way.
He doesn't
if he feels
care.
That way, he's always gonna be
You
that
know,
way.
like, I would say that, like, men with egos are, like, the more problematic ones, because it's like, I'm just saying.
I'm listening. I ain't judging. I'm listening.
I think it's this. This is a big observation I've made in, like, the last couple of years. Men are a lot more thoughtful and, like, articulate and connected to their emotions and thoughts and what they want than we give them credit for.
Okay.
But I don't think that they have found a way of, like, being vulnerable in that thing now. Like, I think that they now are maybe able to connect and communicate those things to each other, but haven't figured out a way to connect and communicate that with, like, women or their, like, closest romantic relationships, because that is another level of vulnerability.
Sure.
Whereas women, like, with us and our closest friends, like, we're talking about the most vulnerable things. That's what makes us close. Is talking about the
Guys
most
do that with their
vulnerable
close
things.
friends too. Like, I do that with my close
They
friends.
do, but it's not like a guarantee. Like, with women's closest friends, like, we're like, you're not my close friends unless I can do that with you.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, with
yeah.
men, it's like an added thing. It's like bet, like, I can talk to you about this
Well,
too.
I'm gonna say this: as a woman, you need to get that out of him. Like, you need to ask him questions.
No,
But, like,
I believe
So-
what
so
I have
you
learned.
can't-
No. What I've learned is that they will do that when they feel ready. Because the disconnect right now is that, again, they just don't know how to necessarily be that vulnerable with the woman, and the woman doesn't necessarily know how to allow him to be that vulnerable, because we're so used to hearing, if he wanted to do that shit, he'll do
would.
it.
He would do it. Yeah.
So now there's this, like, great divide of, like,
y'all hear that for real, like, a lot?
of course, all the time,
Yeah.
all the time,
All the
constantly.
time.
I hear it from men
All the fucking
who
time.
still hit me up. I hear it from
What do you
men who
mean?
will still hit me. They'll hit me up and then be like, "But if I wanted more, I'll do more." Like,
It's true though.
What?
It's true.
It's true.
and then they'll have no problem saying
Yeah.
that to
Yeah.
you.
For
That's-
sure.
They'll have no
Okay,
problem
whatever.
saying
Yeah.
that to you and then
Like,
putting
okay,
that guilt
so
on
for
you.
example, if you just met a girl, you were talking to her for like 2 months,
Yeah.
like not like seriously, but just like you guys were talking,
Yeah.
and her birthday came up.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? Would you give her nothing, or would you like?
2 months is not long enough. Unless we're talking, it depends.
2 months
We're
is
talking
not long
long
every
enough to
single day.
like. 2 months is
But
not
that's
long
what
enough.
2 months is not long enough to give, like, a fucking birthday card,
I know,
some flowers, and you spent time in my house, and
Wait, so it's that
depends.
I
2
love
months
this.
is not
There's
long
some
enough
girls-
to give someone
There's some
like.
girls that you'll speak to them for 2 months, but
Okay,
you only
okay,
speak like
okay,
once a week.
okay. I'm telling you, you have been talking to this girl for like 2 months. You like her.
Yeah.
You have great sex with her. It's her birthday.
you stayed at her house.
She came over she came over to your house on her birthday night.
Would I get her something? Oh yeah. Yeah, I would.
You would, right?
I would, yeah.
Especially if you're expressing to her that you feel a certain way about
I'll
her.
either get her something, I'll take her out.
Okay.
See, and that's another thing that I've realized is that, like, men who are a tiny bit articulate or I like have connection to their emotions, they don't understand why other men.
Is not
But
articulate.
like, no, it's not saying that.
Because men are
Some
articulate
do.
like that.
But
Word?
also, you
I'm
don't.
telling. I'm
But also, you don't
Casey.
even know though. Like
Casey.
sometimes, like
You
Casey,
don't know all the
Casey,
time. You gotta give him a chance.
Any
Like,
man that tries to talk to you, you have to assess this man.
okay, I agree.
You have to be
That's
better
something I don't
assessing
do.
this type of man, because there's immature men and there's mature men.
Yeah.
Mature men they went through those immature stages when they didn't buy stuff for girls and stuff like that for their birthday. They went through that. Now they're more mature. They have a job. They've done it before. They're gonna buy you something for your birthday.
It
depends on what type of guy you're dealing with.
It's the thought. It's the intention.
Yeah, like I don't need a gift. I really don't need a gift.
It's like if you
want you to be like, oh my god, it's your birthday. Like let me like.
But
I don't know.
You know what's the problem, and I feel bad for women. I'm not gonna lie. This is what I feel bad for y'all is. A lot of men be portraying like they like you and like you're the number one.
Yes,
they just because they feed you.
You're the side chick. This is what it is. You're the side chick, and you may not listen.
That's a fact.
Listen, you're the side chick, but in your mind you don't know that because he has not told you that. But he has put it in his world that you are the side chick.
They have a completely different perspective.
So
yes.
you don't even know.
So what if you're not even talking to like a girl like? Okay, so like, what if she's like not even a side chick? She's just like a girl that you like, but not really into. But you're not even talking to a main girl. Like she's not the side chick. She's just like.
But you don't know that.
You don't know. A man decides what
They're
you
so
are.
They can be men.
How do you decide if a girl is a side chick?
Simple. Depends on how she carries herself. And how important is she in my life?
And
what are
you
you
met her
doing?
too. You could have met her while you had a main.
Exactly. If I have a main girl,
what is the point? Okay, so you met a girl you really like. So what is the point of carrying on with this random girl? Like, what is the point? Why do you guys do that?
What is the point?
What
She
is
wants
the
to go to the
point?
bathroom.
Just go on this way.
Yeah.
Around
Try to go
Tracy,
under.
What is the
Limbo.
point?
There you go.
Okay, let me ask the question again. So you met a girl that you really like. She's cool, she's awesome. And then you meet another girl.
Yeah.
And you really like her as well. So what makes the girl the side chick?
What makes her the side chick? Depends on my situations. For example, if I have my main girl, I have kids with her. She lives in my house.
No, I'm not talking
Okay,
about
she
kids
has.
in
She
there.
lives.
You're single, you met a girl, I'm not talking about that serious.
I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Okay, there you go.
It could be a multitude of things. Age.
Age.
Wait, hold on.
Age is a factor.
Age. It
Like
depends.
older.
I'm saying
what do you mean?
It's not the age. It's how she go.
I'm saying it's
Okay,
a
I want to
multitude
hear
of
your
things that.
perspective. What do you mean by age? Older, younger? Like, what do you
It's
mean?
multitude of things that builds into his attraction for you. So if he cares about age, it could be age. It could be femininity, how feminine you are. If you're more feminine than his girl, why the fuck would he be with his girl?
Okay.
It could be reliability. Like, are you reliable? Are you providing something to his life? Are
Okay,
you
but
helping
how
him?
is he gonna know that if we're just like?
If you're just hooking up. If you're just hooking up.
What do you mean? Why would you be just hooking up?
Because that's how things.
Exactly.
start.
What is?
No,
Yeah,
but
you're,
y'all.
you're afraid to put yourself out there. For instance, if you did main chick things to him,
Why am
you
I
would be a
gonna
main
do
chick.
main chick things for somebody I don't know? Who
That's how you get men. Because I just told you, you're dealing with
No,
a scarce
no,
commodity.
No. I'm not gonna do
She's
main
dealing with-
chick.
You're dealing with a
things.
scarce commodity.
I'm not dealing with a scarce commodity. I'm not gonna do main chick things for someone who I know is not gonna be there for me.
Correct.
Like,
So Casey, correct. You answered the question. This guy is boning you, right?
Okay.
Every time y'all meet up, it's always sex on the table.
Okay.
So if you're allowing that, you put yourself automatically in the side chick lane. Because you've never presented anything else. You've never said, listen, you're not coming to my house. I'm not coming to yours. We're going to do other things that I can get to know you more.
Okay.
If you keep allowing a man to come and fuck you without anything, you've already put yourself in the side chick realm. Just by your actions.
Just by fucking a guy and not having.
Okay,
Yes.
this is my argument.
This
is my argument against
above
this.
that.
It's
Because
true.
I can say that guys will fuck a girl and fall in love with her without knowing much about her.
A guy would
No way.
fuck you and fall in love with you?
It
It's more.
depends.
You have to have.
If
Oh,
it's
I know some
experience,
foolish
first
men
of
that have
all,
done that too, though.
Your pussy gotta be good. One.
Okay.
Your pussy gotta be good. Two.
Okay,
is
the
it
pussy's
love?
great. So what's up?
Two. You have to be what he's looking for. His wifey
Yeah.
mentality. You have to fit that picture. You have to have all the assets that he requires.
Okay, but how do you know that if
That's
you're
not
fucking
true.
her?
That's not true.
Yes,
actually
listen.
have to have-
I don't
What are you
feel that
talking
way
about?
either,
I'm gonna
because-
tell
I
you
can
this.
explain to
And
you I can explain to you exactly what's wrong with women and dating. And,
What's
hold
wrong
on,
with
hold on.
women
And
and
men
dating?
too.
Okay, let's
Dating in
go.
general is what she said. She said that girls are telling you guys that if he will.
He
Yeah,
wanted to, he would.
exactly. So that means that you guys are playing like defense.
yes, you're
You
just
guys
waiting.
aren't playing attack.
I mean,
You're not
and
playing
then-
attack.
You guys are not
Okay,
doing
okay,
anything.
But
So
to be
what do
fair,
you-
then also when even in playing, this is the thing that doesn't make women want to play attack.
Okay.
In playing defense, in playing like, okay, y'all always say you want to have the power, you want to give us, you want us to give you respect and trust and all
Yeah.
these things. When we do those things, then you just respect it. Then you hurt it. So then we're left to playing defense.
I understand
Because
that.
I'm not about to show up for someone, for anyone
But-
that has time and time again.
that's
Correct.
what
So
I'm
that's
saying.
one.
They're not
But
gonna
listen. So this is your fault. So now this
How
is where
is that my
accountability
fault?
comes in, because the men you've been choosing up until that time
I'm
has
gonna
been
cor-
this. It has been doing the same.
I'm gonna
thing.
correct you. I'm gonna correct you because
I don't
the
think
men
it's,
that I date, I have consistently made sure that the next man I date is different from the next in another way. I think that we are on our personal journey
Listen.
of finding our soulmates.
Have you got
and
the-
in that journey of finding our own personal soulmates, one person might meet it a different way, one person might do something differently. But I think in that journey, we also learn what we do not need or what we do not want. And one of those things is finding many men who would be very willing and comfortable in like knowing that you are on your journey of finding what works for you and simultaneously like using you while you are on this journey, and they are supposedly on this journey as well. So when you're dating, it's supposed to be getting to know someone, and you give them all this space to like find out who they are, and you're finding out who you are. Like you're trying to like
See, this is where you go wrong. This is where y'all go wrong. The man that y'all need to be choosing already has his life together.
no, but
At least
most-
listen. No, what are you
most
talking
people
about?
do not have
at
a
least
life
70,
together.
at least 60 to 70% of his life is in order,
Facts.
and he's striving for more. You cannot be just dealing with guys that like babies in the world. Like they
But
don't know
even
what the
60
fuck they
to
want to do.
70% is too much space to be fucking around. Because 60-70% is 30-40% to be figuring out what the fuck else you want to do in your life.
So,
and
but
if you don't have that shit
It's
like
basics.
centered,
Basics. For example, you have a job, you have an apartment or a house.
Facts.
Because you can have
Not
a
enough.
No,
It's
listen,
not enough.
listen. He could be he could be
yeah.
in a job for a year or two, right? Maybe he says, "Oh, you know what? I want to be." Maybe he's in school and he's taking another program so he can become something higher and make more money. But he already know
Of
where
course,
he
that's
already know
fine.
where he's going. Maybe if he says, "Listen," and this is the thing. He says, "Okay, I don't want to be in Miami. I like you and stuff, but I like Miami, but I'm just letting you know. This is after you guys have already met. I think I want to move to LA." So he's already told you that. So now he's unsure. So if you give yourself to him,
that's different.
That's different.
That's
That's one-
very different.
no, but it's the same thing with.
No, it's very different
It's the
than
same thing
somebody-
if he doesn't tell. If
Yeah,
he already
I've
knows.
actually talked to a lot of girls and they've told me that they broke up because she went here or he went there.
Of course,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
because that's
That-
normal. That's okay.
Long distance is hard.
But the how you leave matters. Leaving and saying like, "Oh, our pasture's just not working right now, and I want you to go do this and be happy, and I need to be here and be happy," is very different than saying like, "Oh, like we were just doing this shit to like use each other, and then we'll figure out whatever the fuck else we want to do, and fuck you." Those are two very different
Yeah,
things.
but a man will listen. A man will do that if he's insecure. If he's really insecure, he will fuck you over like
Okay,
that.
but like, why are we
Secondly,
making like, generalizations? So, like, is all men like the same? Is that like what
No.
we're saying?
No.
that's what we're saying.
We're saying
Immaturity
not.
and maturity. It just comes down to that basics.
All women
An
aren't the same either.
An
Okay.
immature man or immature woman is going to do immature things.
Okay.
That's why for a woman you must go for the mature man. You need that's it. He needs to be
makes
mature.
a mature man?
Yeah.
What
I
are
just
the-
said it.
check-
The
check-
basics.
check for a mature
You
man.
You have a job. He's been consistent with his job.
He's responsible.
He's responsible. He has values. He has
responsibilities.
He has
He pays rent.
dreams. He knows where he's going. He's moving forward.
Okay, but
I
That's
still
the type
don't
of guy
think
that
that's
you're trying
enough.
to
I
deal
don't
with.
think
I
that
know
if you're
for a
mature
fact
enough
that that's
you
not enough
see-
still.
I don't think that makes you ready for
Yeah.
a commitment.
I feel like how he speaks, how he moves.
Yeah.
It's like how he
I'm just saying
how he
those
presents
boxes
himself
have to
over
be
time.
ticked first.
Those have to be ticked off. Listen, life is 50-50 in anything.
You
You just have to take a chance. But I would rather take a chance with someone who I already know she's feminine, she's serious, she's her track line is that she's been monogamous.
Yeah,
Her
I
track
can
line
tell
is
you-
her family
Yep.
is in a
Okay,
monogamous situation.
I want to comment there because you said monogamous.
Yeah.
But you're
But I
polyamorous,
know
no?
that.
I'm saying my woman. I want my woman to be monogamous.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I want my woman.
Should we? I'd rather just do the
Because,
conversation.
alright,
I want
so
my-
he just
like-
gave you a few things that like you should look for in a guy before you talk to her. Like for me as a girl, sex out of it. I will not talk to a girl if she doesn't do like she will never be in like second chick, main chick, none of that. If she doesn't tick like a few boxes.
Okay, what are the boxes for you, Zay?
Purity. So I cannot know that she's fucked this much niggas. I just can't. I cannot know that she's been around.
So you
Why?
can't.
Say
So you
no.
cannot.
When you say
So-
no, you mean you don't want to know, or
You don't-
She needs to
I-
not
I-
have
I-
done
I-
it already.
She just wants to
I
tell
don't- I don't know.
Right.
You can't know her. You can't know her history.
Niggas that's wifing.
Don't tell them.
Most-
Don't tell
I
them.
don't know. Me, I don't know.
Don't
The reason
tell
why-
'em.
because they tell you telling yourself.
Most men don't want to know women's history.
Yeah, but like cares about how many.
You think? All right, let me ask you a
I'm a
question. You think?
A
you think-
lot of
You
men,
think a man?
Oh, it's so annoying to
How
me.
long?
'Cause
but it doesn't apply to
But I
them.
know you guys have fucked however
hold on,
many
hold on.
women, but like I can't fuck 15 men, but you guys can fuck 15 women.
Yes, 'cause we're
it's
men.
different. Because we're
But
men.
what does that have to do with
I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this. I was waiting for this.
I really want to address this.
I was waiting for this
Really
fucking
want to
moment.
address this. So I understand that like y'all men are like have testosterone and you have all this energy and you want to like rape and pillage and do all this shit.
That's crazy.
But
Don't say
like
Relax. I gotta relax.
leave that shit in there. Leave that shit in there.
That's traditional. That
Because
was when the fucking
I think
cavemen.
the difference with women is while y'all want to do that, okay, epigenetics is a real thing, right? So y'all are used to women being around for sex, right?
Correct.
And you don't have to have commitments to shit.
No,
Yes.
that's
So
what you
what-
guys. Wait, hold on.
No.
Wait, hold on. Do you know that 50, 60 years ago, in order for me to have sex with you, I had to put a ring on your finger?
That's not true.
Wait, no, hold on.
That's
I'm telling
not-
you, for the most part, it was true. How you gonna
No,
tell me?
I'm telling you because I'm a history major. I got my whole fucking degree in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you that that's not true.
Ooh.
Legally, that might have been the rule in some specific places.
Yeah.
No,
But
it wasn't
humanity
for,
in
it
general,
wasn't for,
Wait.
it- I'm
humanity in general,
It
that
wasn't
is
for
not
all.
the case.
Wait, hold on. I'm saying, hold on.
It wasn't for all.
I'm saying if you
Hold
go-
on.
If you go to like more traditional societies like Ethiopia, right? A lot of the women they keep their virginities until marriage.
Okay, but again,
Oh, India.
Okay, but again, that doesn't matter because what happens more than likely, what always happens in
raped.
those
No, but I'm trying to
situations is
explain
that
to
they're
you.
raped. Is that they're raped? So it
Rape.
doesn't fucking matter.
Wait, hold on. You're using a small.
No,
like-
it's not
Wait, hold on,
small.
hold on.
It's very
It's
large.
actually big.
You
It's a
cannot-
very large.
Every woman, you can't go to Ethiopia and say every woman's
No,
raped.
I
No,
can't say
no,
every,
no.
but I can say the majority of women who have been in a system that is male dominated, that the men have to like
No,
show up.
all right, and that's fine.
protect
All right,
women.
Okay, she can make
And
up-
that
if
and
you
that's
like-
I
worldwide.
understand you don't
Worldwide.
like.
Worldwide.
Hold on.
That's
Let me-
worldwide.
Let me land. I understand you don't like male dominated societies or whatever, but I'm trying to tell you the consequence of a female dominated society. Wait. Our society.
No,
Wait,
because
hold on.
you're already messed up on me
Ariel,
not liking
Ariel.
female dominated
All right,
society.
so
let me finish.
Yeah,
You're
Let-
already messed up on me
All
not
right, let her-
liking a
right,
male
let her
dominated
talk.
society.
All right, whether you like it or not. All right, I'm not saying you like it
Okay.
or not. Right, I'm saying the consequence of this society. Right, if you leave men to be able to fuck, like you're basically saying that men are waking up and being like, okay, oh wait, hold on. Think about it as a man. Men want to fuck, right?
Okay.
So you tell me, oh, I don't have to commit to this girl to fuck. I don't have to put a ring on this finger for this girl to fuck. So I could just fuck whoever I want, whenever I want.
But can I?
Why would a man not do that?
Can I say?
You get
can
what
I
I'm
say?
saying?
Okay,
but
but
can
why
I say?
would a man not do
Can
that?
I say that
I-
what you're saying? You're coming from a place of like it's almost like in a bubble of not like in the real world in Africa where they don't give a fuck about outside consequences. They don't need to think theoretically. Oh, maybe I'll just fuck her and it won't matter. They'll fucking fuck her and it won't matter. They'll rape her and it won't matter. So it doesn't apply.
So I'll
It
say
does not
I'll say this
apply.
so we can get off the whole grape
I don't want to talk about
conversation.
rape, though.
But it's a real
Alright,
thing because
alright,
saying that
alright,
a woman
alright,
has
so
power in that is not.
But that's
an
why I said
accurate
grape.
thing.
You say grape. You don't say
I
the.
love listening
You're gonna have to
to
bleep that part out.
Yeah.
Basically,
Hey, for real though.
all right.
Yeah,
If you're talking about purity, all right, take away the whole grape situation, right? Let's say if that happened to majority of women in your case, if you're saying that's happening, all right, that
It's not a majority.
Okay.
We're not
It's
even-
not. That's
A lot of
that's-
girls- a lot of
no,
girls
no,
are
I
happening.
really no. This is like actually important. This is like really important. It's not saying that like this is happening the majority of time. It's not saying that the majority of men are doing this. What I am saying is that the tone of conversation we have allows it for it to happen more often.
I agree
Alright,
with
I'm not
you.
And for the onus to be
I'm just
on
trying
people
to I'm trying to
who
paint you two
are
different
victims.
societies. No society's perfect. I'm saying you can shit on their society.
Okay, but let's talk about the society
I'm not
that
shitting
we
on
live in.
society.
All right,
Like,
and that's what I'm saying. In this
I'm
society,
I'm not shitting on societies. I'm shitting on human behaviors that are
Alright.
individual
but I'm
to
saying
different
that
people.
in our society,
In our
let's talk about
society.
our society. The consequences of freedom of sexual liberation is that men are going to take advantage of that.
which they're doing
It's
right
simple
now.
economics.
Not,
It's
but
simple
why
Listen.
is the consequences? You think that's a fair consequence?
No, it's not. I
So
never
then-
said it was.
There's
fair.
no
if you-
fairness
if you
in it.
believe-
Fairness in the
If
world.
you don't believe that that's a fair consequence, then your reaction should be to protect the people who would be
And they did.
victimized
They
by
did,
that.
which is why they set up
But
marriage in
you're
those.
not-
Wait, hold
you're
on.
not doing
Which
that.
is why they set up marriage in those countries. But women said that it was oppressive.
Baby.
Okay,
No.
okay, but we're not talking about. Okay, we're talking about.
You get what I'm
Right
saying?
now,
You get
us.
you get like how it's coming
How are
full
they
circle.
saying no?
What do you
How
mean?
are they saying no? Because I.
Married, like men in other countries, is contrary to what you believe in, are very respectful of women. They'll tell you that you have to marry her in order to court her.
Basically,
In order to
let me
have
tell
her.
you this: the
get what I'm saying?
liberation, the feminist movement that y'all fought for in America to be able to do whatever what men do, and just be free from marriage because marriage is very oppressive.
That wasn't
time.
the idea, though. That was never the idea.
It's not
the idea, it's a
consequence. It's not the idea, it's a
Ariel,
consequence.
Ariel.
That was
Ariel,
literally not
let
the
me speak,
idea.
and then you can speak after, right? You got women fought for that access to be able to work because when they were living with men didn't allow them to do anything. So you fought, and you didn't like that. You were you'd get beat, things would happen to you, right? So, anyways, women fought to get liberation. Cool, y'all can do the same thing that men do now.
So we shouldn't have
Listen. I'm never saying you shouldn't. It was great. You have more freedom now. But the problem is marriage is not important anymore. So
I
listen.
We as women completely
Listen.
disagree.
I disagree with
Listen.
As women that have been here
Listen,
saying
listen,
that
listen.
we care about that.
He's saying
Listen.
it should be important, but it isn't.
Listen.
But it
Why
is.
do you
Listen, no,
believe
it's
that?
not.
Okay,
Listen,
let me hear your opinion.
Let me
Alright,
tell you.
married.
Go, let him
listen,
talk. Let
listen. In Ethiopia or any of those countries in this modern day, if you give yourself let me even use Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia. If a man finds that you've been impure, you've been touched, you're not getting married in that society.
Okay, but we
listen.
don't live in
So
Saudi
listen,
Arabia.
I'm giving you an example of
That's the
how they
extreme. That's
run
the
it.
extreme.
No,
There's
no, no, no.
society
I'm just
that-
asking, wait, do you think that's fair?
Listen.
that's
I'm
not
not
fair.
saying it's fair. I'm saying in their society, they value marriage. In their society, in America, listen.
I'm
listen.
listening.
In America, marriage is no longer. No matter what you guys think, you may want to get married one day. As an overall in our society, marriage is not important. Women don't even go to church
Can I-
anymore.
can I-
People
can I-
don't even go to
can I
church
respond to
anymore.
that?
Listen,
Can I
wait.
respond
What
to
does
that?
Let me
church
say
have
my
to do
last.
with marriage?
Let me
Raise your
say
hand,
it.
raise your
Let
hand
me
when
say
you
the
wanna
last
respond,
thing, and then you can talk.
What does church have to do with marriage?
Church is the reason why marriage exists.
I'll
what are you
just
talking
let him
about?
finish. Let him
What are you
finish.
talking
I'll address
about?
it.
Without the church, they the one who created monogamy. What
I'll
are you
address
talking
it.
about?
Go.
Without, first of all, without the church, America took out the church out of the society because they wanted money. Listen, they wanted money to be their god. This is why people praise money and people don't care about religion.
You guys know,
Now
but you guys
listen,
don't-
let me say
Y'all
one more.
both talking to me.
Ariel, let me
They're
finish.
talking to me.
Ariel, let me finish.
I'll go
I-
after.
Oh, you're so cute.
Ariel, you're going to talk.
I know.
Listen, just wait.
She has so much to
Jeez.
say.
I'm giving you
Okay.
facts based on the reality of how people run their societies. They listen
Like, why
in a
my
society.
history major
Listen,
in me is really like it's really
Listen,
problematic
Ariel.
how you're framing it.
Ariel.
It's already
You're
fucked
gonna
up.
Ariel, you're going to
I'ma let you go.
talk.
I'ma let you go.
This is a podcast, Ariel. You have to listen. You're going to get hold your brain.
I didn't want
Hold-
the mic the whole time,
your
babe.
brain.
Podcast.
When a society values marriage and people are into church, it is better for the society from a monogamous standpoint. Why? Because in Ethiopia or in Saudi Arabia, guys are not running through girls like how they're doing in Miami. That's what I'm trying to tell
That's all
you.
we're saying.
When you have a society that is saying, listen, marriage is important, and this is why India has the lowest divorce rate in the entire
Yeah.
world.
But are they happy?
Listen,
in their marriage?
okay,
They don't
so
know
hold
that,
up.
though.
But you don't.
How do you know if they're happy?
but-
I know.
But hold
because
up.
we
Some
have
interviews
studies,
say
we have
yes.
stories.
Some other interviews
All of
say.
this philosophical conversation that we're having is not philosophical. We
But our-
have anecdotes.
Hold on, let them talk now, right?
statistics.
Let them talk now.
We
All right,
have
go ahead.
all of the theoretical conversation that we are having is we have studies for, we have proof for, we have.
So the women
all
in
of human
India is not
history.
happy. The women in Ethiopia is not
Majority-
happy. The women in Saudi
No,
Arabia are
that's
not
not what I'm
happy.
saying.
And American
But
girls
we're
are
not-
happy.
Question.
American girls happy.
Did we not say when we started this
That's not what we're
conversation that we
saying.
don't believe in generalizations? Is that
Okay.
not what we believed in?
Okay.
Okay. So going
So-
with the fact that we do not believe in generalizations, right? I will say I will move the comment from generalizations to statistics.
Okay.
Right? Because there are patterns. There are real things that people feel and that will report to feeling and experiences that they will report
Okay.
and that are normalized.
Okay.
And the normal experience in cultures where marriage and the marriage is defined as one man and one woman is generally an oppressive system.
So then why did
that
they get
is
married then?
statistically proven.
No,
there
I'm
is
a-
no.
So
I'm
why
asking
do you wanna get
why do you
married
wanna
then?
get married then?
I'm going to explain.
Okay.
So the issue with me, with how you are explaining like marriage, is like marriage has existed before we had the institution of marriage, right? Before we had the institution, we already had marriage.
Okay.
Fucking penguins mate for lifetimes.
Yeah.
It was a very human thing
Okay.
for us to find a
Very-
mate
yeah.
and build a life with.
Very
It's a very
sentient
normal human
being.
thing.
By the way,
The issue came up when other humans wanted to exploit it and make a leverage it basically. So you get fucking kingdoms and power over marrying your daughter with somebody else because
Correct.
it's leverage over relationships.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it becomes much more of a capitalistic society where
Yes.
it's like, how does it benefit me and you?
But we're more
Right?
But we're not that
capitalist than
anymore.
ever been.
I agree, which
Yeah.
is why I feel like we're having a lot of these issues
So
because
you
we're
want marriage
not
to
in
come
a
back?
society.
Sorry. Do you want marriage to come back? Yes or no?
I want marriage for myself. I want a one
Okay,
man
so-
and one woman system for myself.
I understand that. But the reason why it's so hard for you guys to get that, I'm just explaining this. I'm not saying what's right or wrong.
But
I'm
you're-
saying a consequence of this
The
society.
consequence.
But you're
Exactly.
saying a consequence that's not actually taking into account our experience. So therefore, is it a real consequence?
No, it is your
it
experience.
is your experience. You fought for it.
But your consequence is not taking that into account.
No, but wait, hold on. All I'm saying is that it's a consequence. Now,
Of
when
what?
you meet a guy, in our society in 2023, when you meet a guy, he talks to you, he finds you attractive, he knows deep down that he doesn't have to commit to you.
doesn't have
nor
to.
does he have to marry you to have sex with you.
He doesn't
That's
have
the
to
way-
do it.
That's a
hold on.
normal thing.
Wait,
wait.
No.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
hold on,
that's
hold
a
on.
very normal.
That's a
No,
normal
but I'm
thing.
trying to
We
tell-
think that's a normal thing
Oh my God.
in dating that
But
should
I'm trying
happen.
to tell you.
It
I'm
should
trying to
happen.
tell you-
So hold up, a man.
Let's I speak.
Yes,
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
Let's
hold on.
speak. Let's
It's whether you want it to be normal or not. I'm not disputing it as normal. I'm just saying a man is gonna think, oh, I don't have to commit to her. I don't have to have a ring on her. So
No,
wait,
but
hold on,
those
hold
are
on.
two
I'm gonna
different
tell you
things.
exactly what happens. He has sex with you, right? Then he finds another girl. She's just as attractive, or maybe she's less attractive, or maybe she's more attractive, whatever. He says, oh, I don't have to marry her, and I don't have to commit to her. So I have sex
Go,
with her.
good. Go to the other one because I don't want that. That's
All right,
not what I want. I want a
understand that.
deeper
I
connection.
understand
So
that.
you're
Ariel,
looking for the
Ariel,
like-
I'm gonna tell you this.
But it's going to be harder
Ariel,
for
I'm
you to get a
telling you
deeper
this.
connection
Listen.
because of that.
Yes, you're you guys are putting your feelings in this because
Yeah,
of the experience.
experience.
But listen. You have to realize marriage is best for y'all because even though y'all want to say, listen,
It is.
a society that pushes marriage. All right,
This is
if
what
a man,
pisses me.
let me tell you, if a man,
because I never finished what I was gonna say. So this is what's pissing
What?
me off with this. Like, I believe in the sanctity of marriage. I believe in the usefulness of marriage. I
Correct.
believe in what a man being in my life can protect me from.
Okay.
I believe in all of that shit.
But
what I'm saying is y'all don't fucking show up like how you need to show up. The majority of women's experiences is not you showing up like you show up.
Ariel, the reason why men are not showing up because they don't have to.
Do you get it?
So, okay, but you're not explaining.
Sheree, you understand what I'm saying?
Everybody calm down for a second.
All right, hold on.
No, because you're not making the...
Ariel, wait. Sheree, can you basically explain what I just said? And what
What's
me
the
around trying to say
difference?
to her?
Because the
perspective.
disconnect, from my opinion, is that you guys are saying that, like, as if we don't recognize that, and it's like, no, we recognize that, but now you want us to,
But
like,
also, I feel
be
like
better than you. We need to be 10 times better than men.
I feel
No.
like you
Like-
guys are saying that like men don't have feelings either, and that they're just like
Men
trying to just like fuck. Or
men have so men. Okay, obviously men and women both have feelings, but women are more emotional, and we crave more of something that's just a unit between two. Yes. But all these divorce rates are happening because all of these men are getting married and they are still seeking other women. So obviously there's an issue with,
To me, it's
it being a
repressed
unit.
Fix your shit out.
Okay.
Because you're when you get into a marriage, you're planning on spending your life with this person. A lot of men might get into this marriage thinking, okay, I have it out, it's me and her, but eventually have a desire to be with more women. So it doesn't end up working out most of the time on the women's part, because it's like, oh, well, I want to bring something else into the table. They don't really often say that, they end up cheating.
So sorry to cut you off, Shree, but I'll just wrap it up with this. I just want to say this one thing to help you guys kind of understand, because I know everybody's getting emotional or whatever, right? Look,
I'm not getting emotional.
all I'm saying is that when you guys, I'm gonna ask you one question. When you guys date a guy, what are you thinking first? When you meet him,
potential.
all right, but you said
commitment.
feelings, right? You said feelings, right? You said how he makes you feel. You guys said that
that's
earlier.
important.
Exactly. Guys don't think like that.
They
So
don't.
you don't care how a woman makes you feel.
They care,
First is
but
sex.
yes.
You get what I'm saying? You
First is sex. Truly, that's it.
Yes,
Like-
sex is second for you.
This is why you
Which
need
is
men.
why I
That's
just-
why
which is why
women
I
need
just
guy
said-
friends that give y'all a game.
Which is why I just said if
I
a
know,
guy.
But like
Yeah.
I have
Wait,
plenty
so
of
let
guy
me
friends,
ask
and
you a
I really
question.
don't feel like that's how
Because
they
they're not
think.
mature.
Wait, hold on.
Like-
girl.
Guys are.
Because they're not
wait,
mature.
They're not mature.
Guys,
That's
wait, no, no,
that's
no.
the reason they're not mature.
Wait, hold on. Guys wouldn't tell
Are
you
you-
that. You know why guys won't tell you that? Because they're trying to have sex.
And that
I'll
too.
be honest
And
with you.
that too.
But hold
Okay,
on.
I want to take it.
And that's another
And
story.
let me
we should get into.
let me just say this one last thing. One last thing. I won't say anything else. So, if sex was number one for you and feelings was 2, what would you do?
In terms of what?
Priorities.
if
you cared about
What
sex
is your
more than
If you
Priority.
cared about sex over emotions,
Well, then sex, obviously, if I care
Exactly.
about
So
Yes.
you would just, so wouldn't you just fuck everybody?
Of course, but
Exactly,
I
so that's
really
my point.
no. But I don't.
but you don't like that. But he's trying to explain a man's brain.
My point is
I'm getting ready. No, y'all can talk.
no. My point is I do not believe that is most men's experience.
No, I agree.
Personally, my experience with men, most of it has been that. All of the men that I have been with prior to now have cheated on me.
No, okay, these are two different things that we're saying though. Like we're saying that like, oh, men either want you because of sex or not. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that wait a minute. What I'm saying is that men will fuck with you and then take everything else into account.
Yeah.
Sex is always in my mind. Sex is always the first thing, of course. Duh.
Yes.
agree with you. We're
Blank,
adults, everyone
period.
wants to fuck.
Point blank. Period.
Yes,
It's
but
the first
if
thing.
sex
But
is
then
your first
after
thing-
that, no, that's not true.
Also,
I know
alright,
that
so-
to not be
wait, hold on,
true.
hold on.
I know that to not be true from experience
Yo,
with
I'm
men.
a guy.
I'm
Who
not
am I
telling
then?
you're not the
But
only
like,
man
but
though.
You're making
You're
generalizations.
one man.
Yeah, we're making
There's many
generalizations.
men that I have dated, and you've not
Exactly.
dated many men. I've dated many men.
All right,
So
all right.
my
Let's slow it
experience in
down
this
a little
case
bit.
should count.
So guys have told you that that sex isn't one first.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not
I'm
what I'm
saying
saying.
that's not my. I actually agreed with you on
I
that.
feel like I can't.
What I'm
connect
saying is
with
that's
a
not the
man without
only
having
thing.
sex with him.
It's
No,
not
I'm
the
talking about what
only
you care
thing.
about.
it's
Something
not
that
the
he
only
cares
thing,
about.
but it's
Okay, wait, he cares
it's
about
up there.
Yes.
No, it's the first
Put
thing.
yourself in the
it's
mind.
the easiest thing.
Put
I mean,
yourself
get that
in-
out
hold
the
on.
way, and
I don't
everything
feel
else becomes
like-
an
All
issue.
right, hold on.
I
And we're so
feel like-
fucking
One mic
stuck
at a
on being
time,
like
one
how
mic
we
at a
look,
time.
how we're doing. No, sex is the first thing. It's the easiest thing.
It's the
Everything
easiest-
else
that-
becomes
it's
a
the
bigger
easiest
deal to
thing.
men than they let us on to believe.
I think
because
that-
I talk to men, I talk to my brothers,
What do you
cousins.
mean bigger deal? What do you mean?
Like sex
I-
is the easiest and first thing to deal with a woman. Like, oh,
Okay.
you see a woman, she's fine, bad, awesome. You fuck
Sex.
her, you have a good time. All of that is easily. It's always finding out what her opinions are, what her morals are, what her values are, her work ethic.
All right.
It's always these
All right,
other things.
Last thing I'm gonna
that
ask you.
become
Last thing I'm gonna ask you
the
too. I really
good
want
or
to make you
bad.
understand the mind of a man. I really want to make you
But
understand.
like
the
you
mind of a
all
man.
men
Wait,
think
hold on,
Do
hold
you
on.
understand all the minds of men, though?
Yeah,
For
that's
me
what
to
I'm
understand the
saying.
mind of a
Yes.
man,
I understand.
because
I understand.
it's not
Wait,
all
hold on,
your
hold on.
minds.
I understand what men are not willing to say.
This is your
I catch my friends in their own bullshit all the time. I'll give them like I have to give them 3 scenarios
I personally
in order
don't
to get to the
think
truth.
that all men are the same. That's my
Let me ask you a question.
opinion.
Have you ever talked to a girl? Have you ever talked to a guy?
I
And
think
wait, you strung him along. You never had sex with him, but he gave you so much attention, so much like validation, and
course.
it made you feel good, right?
I think that men
Exactly.
always
Wait,
think
hold on,
of
hold on.
first sex first.
No,
I
no, wait,
agree.
hold on. Have you ever done that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Exactly. So what does that mean? That means that made you feel good. That's priority on your list. Men would do the same thing, but flip it with sex. Do you get what I'm saying now?
No, I
Okay,
do.
but,
I
like-
hear what you're saying.
That
But I
second-
feel
wait,
like-
hold on.
That
So, okay.
if you liked a girl a lot, liked her personality, you liked her, you never fucked her, would you still be interested in her over the girl that you vibed with and fucked with?
If a girl, well, it depends.
Okay,
Give me a scenario.
So you have 2 girls. You met one girl, you fucked her, you guys vibed, whatever, and then you had another girl who you vibed even more with, but you didn't fuck her.
Go ahead.
Like, well, what would you do? Like,
How many dates have I gone on with the second girl?
you've gone on 3 dates with both
No.
of them.
No.
No
Immediately,
what?
I wouldn't rate the second girl because I wouldn't think she liked me.
If she didn't
Because
fuck
you know
you,
what?
you
I
didn't-
just
wouldn't
showed
think
you.
she
I just
liked
showed you. Guys know.
That is so crazy
That's so
to
messed
me.
up.
That is
Wait.
so
But it's
crazy
a-
to me. You wouldn't think
It's a
she
sad
liked
reality,
you.
though.
But you're coming from no, but you're coming from
Holy
such a.
shit.
This is
It's
the
not
ideal.
ego,
No.
wait.
This
Because
is what
a lot
I'm
of
saying.
girls,
It's not fair that women
say
have to
something.
be
I
healed
feel like a lot of
and then come
girls
into
like to
relationships, and
hold
we have to
themselves
heal
back
them.
because
Wait, hold on. Let me explain to you.
Y'all
Hold on,
should be healed.
Wait.
No,
hold
it
on,
sounds
hold on.
like you have an issue
No,
with
wait,
not
wait.
getting the affirmation,
Let me- no,
and
let
then
me-
we got to make up for
Let
it.
me
No,
explain.
but
Let me
I
explain.
think
Wait,
a
hold on.
lot of girls-
If a girl, to answer your question,
Kyle, you look so cute.
to answer your question, if a girl did
A
that to me,
handsome
right?
boy.
If a girl did that to me and made me wait 3 dates, I'm okay. But I have to know that you do that to everyone. I cannot know. I cannot know.
That could be no. That's
Wait,
fair.
How would you know? If she's like if she's
That's
If-
fair.
if I
That's
found out- wait,
that's
hold
a
on.
simple
Everybody,
assumption.
Calm down because
Yes, if you're
you
dating,
guys genuinely have to calm down
That's
because
fair.
I don't think so. Like, who I 100% don't want to fuck you the first
drunk.
It's
They're
gonna
drunk.
the first couple of times I met you, and that's the thing I have to announce to you. Oh my god, I don't want to fuck you.
so if she's
No,
like
I have
That's
to
not
feel
it.
it. Like
No,
Okay,
that's
I'm
not what
attracted
I'm
to you.
saying.
baby, no,
I'm
baby.
with you,
That's
I'm
not
just
what
like,
I'm
no,
saying.
I'm not ready to
No,
have sex with you.
that's not what
Casey,
I'm saying.
if you're like okay, so I don't sleep with anybody like when I'm
He's
first
just
dating
assuming
them. I want to get to
be-
know you first, and then
He has
then
to assume
progress.
that that's just your mode for in general.
Everyone.
And
Yeah.
he's dating.
Because think about it. Wait,
That's
hold on.
Is that a
Let me
thing
ask
that
you a question.
attracts you to a girl more than a girl that just fucks you?
Wait, let me ask you a question.
That
Let me
part.
ask you a question. Jeez.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so I don't want to compare women to cars, but if Cherie and Ariel went to a car dealership, right, and they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell you this car for $20,000, but it's really $30,000. I'm gonna sell you for $20,000," and then you go to the car dealership and the guy's like, "Nah, I'm gonna sell it to you for $40,000." How you gonna feel?
I'm not gonna like it.
Exactly.
You're like,
That's
what
how
the
men
fuck?
feel. Because
Yeah.
because a guy has had sex with you on the first date, and then you making me wait.
So that's like okay. So what you're telling me is like sex is like a big deal to you guys.
Yes, because
Of
we
course.
know because
Able to,
we
like,
know it's the
wouldn't-
biggest deal to you.
No,
Because-
no.
wait.
This is my thing.
I can say from like
This is my biggest fucking shit with
I can say
dating and
from, like-
toxicity is like if you think something is right or wrong and that's it, That's it. Don't fucking put all these societal expectations like, oh, well, if she's doing this with me, then she has to do to other people, and blah, blah, blah. It's too much. Like, you're hurting both people that way.
I understand that, but
that's not fair.
But Ariel, you have to understand
They
this
do
is
it.
biologically wired into men.
Don't do it. It's biologically wired into women to be attached to men, and we can't do that shit.
Wait, hold
so
on.
y'all
Ariel,
can't do that
first
shit.
of all, you guys do. But let me ask you a few questions. A few questions. Do you like tall guys?
Yeah.
I sure do.
Okay. Do you
I
like,
sure
wait,
do.
Are you attracted to guys with money?
Of course.
But of course that
Okay.
is.
It's not just
Is
that.
if a guy,
But like,
It's a yes or no.
It's not enough for
It's
me.
really
I cannot tell you.
Like,
I cannot
it's
tell
not
you.
enough for me.
Hold on.
It's not
I cannot
enough for
tell
me.
you to not be attracted to things that you are biologically attracted.
But
to.
I can know that it is not coming from the
It's
best
clicking
place.
in her head now.
No, but I can know. It doesn't matter.
I completely
No, it doesn't
see
matter
what
because
you're
I
saying,
can
but-
still know that.
Okay,
Like just
for-
because I like a tall man doesn't mean that this tall man is good for me.
No, exactly.
I'm responsible for
Exactly. So
my
if I
shit.
talk to a girl and she's making me wait on a third date, and I know she's fucked a guy before on the first date, I know she's not good for me.
That's fucked up.
That's
Like
true.
that's
I think that's like assumptions.
Drive safe, baby. Don't
Bye,
don't speed.
Kyle. We're making assumptions about men and women, and I don't like to do that. Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've met so many different types of like men in my life that I really can't like group them all into like groups. Truly.
No, but you don't understand. There's overarching things that women are attracted to. Like men understand that. Men know that basically, like if a guy is taller than you, he has an opportunity to get the girl over you. Men know that if a guy has more money
If
than
you're
you.
tall, of course. If
Wait,
you're
hold
shorter
on.
than me.
I'm saying if a guy has money,
Okay,
men know that guy has the opportunity to get more money than you.
Like, because money could, money isn't.
No, but I'm
like,
saying these are things that women are universally attracted to. Money.
I don't want to say that though.
That's not true.
I
I mean,
don't
it's
wanna
not
say it. I
untrue.
don't think that-
But it's not untrue, Casey.
It
Like,
is true.
honestly, it's not untrue. Like, women, I wouldn't say that women want men that have money, but they want
I don't
women
want
that
to be
have
like,
men who are
I'm
stable.
gonna pick this guy because he has money. Like
That's
like,
not the
never,
case.
Like,
No, that's not the case. But they
But
are.
there-
like,
there
I'm gonna
are a
go with
handful
this
of women.
guy because
a handful of women.
Like,
Yeah.
We ended up losing a few clips here at the end, had some technical difficulties, but we appreciate you like tuning in. Would definitely like you guys to like, just share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, support the TikTok, support the Instagram. That being said, I salute and peace out.